Howdy and aloha. Welcome to Mana Talk. The earth and you are ohana. We hope you stay and talk. Howdy and aloha, everybody. This is James with Mana Talk. Mana Talk meaning power, talk meaning talk. So, God, my lips are so chapped. Anyway, I'm using this coconut chapstick. It's really good. And it smells good too. But anyway, here's what's going on, guys. Montauk is a place where people come from all over the place. Maybe city, state, county, the country, maybe even the world. People from all over, hopefully. We talk about things that are important. Could be movies, could be politics, could be, not too much personal things, because I'm not really big on drama. I'm not a therapist. I don't claim to be a therapist. I'm not a counselor. I don't claim to be a counselor. But basically my goal, which I believe a lot of people think in the same direction as I do, is I'm trying to save the planet and all of its inhabitants. Yeah, I know, that's a very broad stroke, but that's what I've been trying to do since I started my show. I think I'm number 205 now as far as shows are concerned. Tonight, I left an invitation for everybody that's out there to come on in the Green Party to look me up tonight. Hopefully they can see me. I'm going to send out the invite to the locals that are usually here. God damn it. That come on every once in a while and pay attention to me, which I think is cool. Not everybody pays attention to me. I don't have a lot of followers, but maybe someday somebody will take a look at some of the information that I provided and either debate it, argue it, maybe learn from it. I'm always open to whatever's needed and necessary, but if you're going to save the planet and all of its inhabitants, you've got to take drastic measures now, because we have about 12 years, scientists have said, in order to change the direction of where we're going, like substantially, not just like recycle more or, buy a few more green cars or Teslas. I'm talking about dramatically changing the way we think about energy. Fossil fuels, gotta go. Just has to go. Nuclear has to go. Probably one of the most threatening pieces of energy that we use is nuclear. It's terrible. All it takes is one canister of 50,000 gallons, and a whole coastline could be contaminated for decades, even maybe longer. Robert Schultz, what's up? Oh, I got to put this thing up, guys. Hang on. I'll let you in as soon as, where am I going here? So we need to, and coal, of course, coal is stupid. We all know that climate change is real. If you are a denier of climate change, and our footprint on climate change, let me put it to you this way. If you're out there and you're thinking that since the industrial age started, right? And it's up, it should be up, guys. I'll let you in as soon as I'm done with my quick little monologue. But if you're thinking that it doesn't pan out or there's something wrong, then maybe you're not getting the right information from the right people. Maybe somebody's telling you hyperbole, or somebody's giving you the wrong information. So what's actually happening out there, and this happens a lot, is there's companies that are paying millions of dollars or billions of dollars in that case. We're talking Exxon, Mobil, same company, Shell, GP, a lot of major companies out there in these industries of coal, in the industry of fossil fuels, like crude oil, etc. God damn, little moth. Anyway, just hang out, bro. It's okay. I'm not gonna hurt you. Just hang out. We'll get ready soon. I don't even hurt moths. It's funny. It's terrible. But anyway, so if we do not take this new direction, it's going to get bad. I mean, we have recently predicted, and I'm talking about, I'm not me, I'm not a scientist or anything, but the scientists out there, geologists and meteorologists and people that, deal with climate change on a constant basis, and scientists overall, say that they were wrong recently, a few months ago, that it's 3 times worse than they thought it was. And it's compounding over time. I'm not just talking about the planet itself, I'm talking about everything as well. So what I'm saying is, it's not just about saving the planet, making sure that you have clean water, a clean lake, clean rivers, oceans that you can go into that aren't full of bacteria and trash and junk. I mean, there are islands the size of Texas out there that are just plastic. They're just trash. A lot of things need to be fixed, and we need to do it dramatically. And you have to have, in one of my videos, I was voting. It took 3.5 hours for me to do a vote in a low-income area in Santa Ana, California, which is just below Disneyland. And sadly, that should never happen. Our candidates push for, Green Party. I'm a Green Party guy, by the way. Push for the day of voting, November 6th, usually, or that time, or whenever that falls into, should be an forsaken. Oh my God. Hey, wow, how cool, Jeremy. So this should be a holiday. It should be a national holiday, okay? Now, I don't know if anybody likes all the greens or all the greens, but there's a new thing that just recently happened that I need to point out real quick. Is California probably had the best chance of any candidate in a long time of getting somebody in the House. And I just got to say, I mean, I was out there campaigning. I put in 3.5 hours. I mean, look, I've got kids. I have a job. I do other things. I do what I can when I can. I gave money directly to a candidate, but I did whatever I can to send his message and his links to his site to learn more about him all over the internet. I have almost 5,000 Facebook friends, so I think I'm advertising okay. And I sent a lot of people in Twitter, and I've had them on the show. I've had several of the Greens on the show. As a matter of fact, I've had about 12 Greens on the show, and maybe total just a bunch of people that are like very progressive, very liberal, and very in tune with waking up, which the Greens have woke up. A lot of them have. Now, in regards to their priorities, they need to wake up a little more. Maybe they need to got to get a Red Bull. Have a Red Bull. Would you like Red Bull? Get a Red Bull. They need a little Red Bull shot, or maybe they need a Jaeger bomb. I don't know. Or what is that new thing? I've had one of these. It's called a fire bomb. You ever had a fire bomb? It's like a Jaeger bomb, but it's a fire bomb. Don't drink it. But anyway, they're good. What I'm saying is their priority should be to get people that actually have the power and the ability. Wait. I understand you need to have small community greens. I don't know if all those people are really advertising that they're green while they're running, or they're just green. So from what I'm hearing, some of them do and some of them don't. Some of them don't like to because people have something about greens they don't like. I don't know why, but I'm green. I'm very proud of it. I'm very, very honored that I am a green. I think what they stand for is fantastic. Their 4 pillars, their 10 key values, everything that they represent in their platform. And I'm not talking each state, I'm talking about the U.S. Green Party. If you've looked at the 10 key values, you will definitely notice that they are where we need to be. But the goal is to get somebody in the House to wedge between the two-party oligarchy. And yes, I do understand you need to have some city, some county, and some state people out there. But putting all your energy and all your money into those positions that are umbrellaed under the two-party oligarchy, that are covered and controlled by the two parties, isn't really helping. Isn't really helping. So let me just show you something real quick, and then I'll get to it. Yeah, here it is. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see this, but as you can see in the primary, oh, this is, I don't know if you guys can see all this. Hopefully you can. Rodolfo Cortez Barragas had the best chance with 8,741 green votes to 35,626. He ended up with 22% of the vote. Before, now that's a big difference. That is a big difference. That's not 22%. That's about 3,000 or 4,000 more that he was able to reach. Now these are huge numbers when you look at these numbers. Now, if you let me get to my cursor so I can get to where I'm at. So if you look over here, okay, and I'll make this real quick. I'll try to make this as quick as possible. This is a giant margin. Yes, I get it. Doesn't look like he has a chance in hell. But if he had the money, if he had the resources, if he had the people, and if he had the time, which means, those are resources that he needed, and he'd been asking for people to donate money, it just never came. Same thing with Kenneth Mejia. He was really close. He was pretty close, but not as close as Rodolfo was, because he had 8,000 to 54,000, 9,000, to 54,500, which is a longer stretch, but he did gain 25% of the vote, which is huge. Now, we did have Laura Rolls on the show. She is fantastic. I wish she could get a seat. I'm glad that she ran in her area. That's fantastic. But her numbers clearly, if you can see it anyway, she had 832 to 159,000. So, but when it was all said and done, she got 14,900. She got 14,000 more votes. So that was amazing, but nowhere near the 106,000 that her opponent had. So the reason why I bring this up, and I know it looks depressing, okay? The reason why I bring this up, and I know it looks depressing, is the fact of the matter is we have people all over the country. Not a lot of people. Within the United States of America, there are 250 to 300,000, give or take, registered Greens across the country. Registered Greens that are poised to vote Green. Now, that's not a lot of people. If you took half of those people, or just a third of those people, and if you took a third of those people that gave $1, that's 75,000, that's 80,000. I don't know what the math is, but it's a lot of fucking money for these. All these people needed was like $15,000 to $20,000 to make a huge run. Advertising, radio, anything they needed. Because believe it or not, in this culture, because of Citizens United and because of McCutcheon versus the FTC and money that's still in politics, we have to have the resource, and it's money. The other great resource is people. Okay, and yes, again, I understand you need people to know and to have those city council jobs, and I think that's important. But in regards to those positions compared to those higher positions that make more sense, that do more, that provide more, that are able. Imagine a house of a greenhouse of representatives, just one, getting their chance the first time they walk into Congress. The place is either going to erupt and clap, or they're going to be quiet as a fucking mouse because they just realized that somebody walked in that doesn't take corporate donations. They just realized that their money is about to leave. That's the threat. That is the threat of somebody getting into the house. If you don't understand how vital that is, then I'm sorry. I can't help you. But what's vitally important and should be a priority, in my professional opinion, and our business model, believe it, it's a business out there. Getting people elected is a business. It's a business. It's blatant. It's advertising. It's marketing. It's public relations. It's branding. It's logos and the list goes. It's a business. You've got to find a way to get people into the party. That's how you grow a party. So you go after Republicans. So you go after Democrats. So you go after Libertarians. So you go after Mountain Party. So you got peace and freedom people. There's over 200 parties in the United States that you can fucking choose from. Just grab as many as you can and bring them in and let them learn on what we're about. Because what I've told everybody, and this is hugely important, is I believe the world is catching up to what the Green Party has been giving since 1984 and since the GPUS started in 2001. Which brings me to show you how far we've come since 2001, right? 19 years ago, right? And there's been a few major elections out there, let me just get to that real quick. My apologies. I'm not like quick on the trigger with this, but I do want to show you this piece of information here. And I think this is important. I'm gonna open it up in just a second, guys. Boop, boop, boop. Just a second. There it is. Boop. All right. So, I'm gonna make it big so hopefully y'all can see it. I just say y'all. What the hell? Anyway, so let me see. Can you guys see that? Anyway, I hope you can. But anyway, I should be paying attention to my. Let me just check real quick and make sure we are good to go here. We are good to go there. All right, we're good to go here. Dashboard's go. Okay, it's up. Good. Hi, everybody. Forsaken and Companion, so good to see you. Snort, good to see you, everybody. Fuck, this is awesome. Thank you guys for coming. I truly appreciate it. If you look on here and you notice that, and I'm going to open this up just, I think I can make it just a, nope, okay, fucked up. Hold on. Just a little bigger. If you see 2001, this is when the Green Party US started. The Green Party was already around for a couple of decades, wasn't huge, but it's just starting to gain momentum. We're new, but we're moving and we're growing. And as I say, it's what the rest of the planet needs to follow, tactfully, carefully, and, with patience and understanding and tolerance, mend relations with victimized countries that we've been blowing up for decades. Bringing peace to nations. I think that's huge. We've got to start doing that. We can't be volatile anymore. But the military-industrial complex would fucking hate that. And that's why they love the two-party oligarchy. But I'll get back to that in a second. So if you see this looks like a little ticket, but it's a Green Party United States. I got that cut and pasted it from the Wikipedia. And if you look down here where it says seats for the Senate, 0 out of 100. Seats in the House, 0. Gubernatorial, 50, 0. We got 1,972 state upper seats. We have a lot of legislators in the states. That's good. And hopefully those people, which I find very interesting, haven't moved up. Wouldn't the next level or the next phase or the next step be to go into the House? I'm just saying, or the Senate, like here, like there's 5,441 over many years. This is since '84, a long time ago. These are how many people have gotten these seats in these state positions, but they never made it to the next level. You know, and then all these other little things. Then they have janitorial jobs that people want you to vote for and stuff. I don't know what that's about. I believe it's those seats at this point are important, and I think we should go for those. But the city council, uh, what is that other one that I was talking about the other day? It was water commissioner, which is good. I think that's huge, but it's not doing anything. All right, it's did the link get posted, you guys? It's in the thingamajig, right? You guys are welcome to come on. Anyway, I'm open for anybody who wants to come on. Anybody from the Green Party that wants to debate, argue, provide a point. But we have people actually in the Green Party right now that are saying that it's not a priority. The House of Representatives is not the U.S. House of Representatives in Congress is not a priority. What? What? You guys get that link? Let me check here. Hang on. Well, if I did, murder was positioned here, it would be an over a longer story. Let's see. Howard Core and his sidekicks. Okay, thanks. That's your back. Robert Schultz. Okay. Anyway, it's open, you guys, to come in. But my biggest point that I'd like to make to the Green Party is, and a word I got from somebody recently, I think it was Stevie Redman Economics, it's abysmal. Excuse me, it's abysmal. It's someone, it's absolutely ridiculous that you're not going bigger. It's like you're running for third place. You know what? I'm going for third place. That's what I'm going to do. You know what? I don't want first place. I'm going for third all the way. You know? I wonder if I'm streaming live yet. I don't think I'm streaming live. Hang on. In my, whatchamacallit, I don't know if it is doing that. Periscope warning. What the hell is that? Maybe my Periscope isn't working either. No, it's on Facebook. I guess Facebook is right. I don't even know if the Facebook is running. In any case, what I got to do is share this, though. I got to share this. Hang on. Because I'm hoping these people that are telling me it's not important, that we shouldn't, it's almost like they want us to be small. It's almost like they want us to be tiny. It's almost like they're listening to the two-party oligarchy, which is fine with us being, in seats that are, city, county, and state levels. As long as we don't go higher, everything's fine. As long as we don't reach a little further, then everything's cool with the two-party oligarchy. They don't want us to go big. And if you aren't battling to go big, then then why are you here? Then why in the hell? Oh, here's the video I wanted. Here, hold on. Let me just see here. Hold on a second. Oh, how do I make that bigger? So, let's see. Okay, so React, save to Facebook. That's one of my videos. Okay, let me go to there. View yours. Okay, I'm going to go there. I mean, what is the point of having a political party if you're not going to go for it? What are you telling people that are prospects to your party? When they see this, oh, hold on. Where'd it go? When they see that list that I provided earlier indicating that we've never been in the Senate, we've never been in the House, and we've never won a governorship, a gubernatorial race, I hate saying that word, right? Never. So this is just, it's ridiculous. The reason for a party, a political party, and I'm hoping that the founder of the Green Party, what is his name? I don't know if that's important. I don't think anybody knows who the founder of the Republican Party was or the fucking founder of the Green or the Democratic Party. Sorry, not important. What's important are the 10 key values, right? What's important are the 10 key values. You know what? And I'm going to go over them with you since nobody's on here with it because I think it's important that I do. Ooh, is somebody in the lounge? God damn it. Sorry. My bad. Mitchell. What's up? Mitchell? Who the hell's Mitchell? Who is Mitchell? You're on mute, bro. Let me unmute you.
Okay, there we
There you
go.
go. I got you.
Yeah, I'm redecorating a little bit here.
Yeah, you got to reductor. Okay. But anyway, hey, I like the background. You got a lot of stuff going on. I've never seen all that in the background yet, but it looks really cool. By the way, hey, look, I got to be really honest with you. I've been super busy doing whatever I can to get some people elected, and I've been super busy, guys. So I'm going to have
We've
my
known
shows back on. More so, we're going to start doing the longer shows for people to come on and hang out and bitch and
we've known
complain.
that you're going to be busy. You said that a long time ago that you'd be busy till after the election.
Yeah, and football season's over too, which is cool, right? Because I was busy with football season too with my kids. Just a lot, jobs, the whole 9 yards. Everybody's got their shit to do. But I was just going to show people the 10 key values real quick. Since I'm here, let's go through them. Yay! Okay, so let's go. So the 10 key values, grassroots. This is from the Green Party U.S. And I think every freaking state should abide and be under the umbrella and the control of the U.S. Green Party, held accountable, because there's too much chaos out there, too much disinformation, and no uniformity, no unity. Everybody's got their own ideas of what the 10 key value is. Just go with one, for God's sakes. But don't have fucking questions, right? The Green Party's like full of questions right now. And if you go to the CA Greens, I tried to get it. I tried to change it, but it's fucking just pathetic. It's pathetic. They ask you questions. So when you ask, hey, what are your 10 key values? They come back and ask you questions. You know what? I'm going to go there and show you real quick. It's fucking hilarious. California Greens. Right. So when I go to the 10 key values, this is the guy who had the shot. This guy had a good. They both were kind of even. Laura's awesome. I wish she would have had a better shot. She was running against somebody that was just way too far ahead. It's just, so I'm saying our resources go to the people that have the best chance. I don't see why that's stupid. I don't see why that's ridiculous. But anyway, 10 key values. Let me click them. So here's our 10 key values, right? Oh, there they are. They're just going to ask you, how can we how can we operate human societies with the understanding that we are part of nature, not on top of it? What the fuck? It's like the first question. What the fuck are you talking about? It's ludicrous. I have had people go to this page and go, dude, I don't know what the fuck they're asking me because I don't understand what it is in the beginning, in the first place. So let's go to the U.S. Green Party. They're never in order. Just letting you know, nobody's got them in order. They should be fucking alphabetical, but whatever. All human beings must be allowed a say in decisions that affect their lives. No one should be subjected to the will of another. We work to improve public participation in every aspect of government and seek to ensure that our public representatives are fully accountable to the people who elect them. We also work to create new types of political organizations that expand the process of participatory democracy by directly including citizens in decision making. Now that's wonderful. That's the answer, right? And here it is over here. How can we live within the ecological and resource limits? Okay, let's go where we're grassroots to market. Let's go to grassroots to market. Grassroots to market. Okay. How can we develop systems that allow and encourage us to control the decisions that affect our lives? Oh, here's the answer. How can we ensure that representatives will be fully accountable to the people who elect them? Oh, here's part of the answer. Fucking somebody change that. It's embarrassing. It's fucking embarrassing. My God. Anyway, sorry I'm getting a little aggro, but it's just, everything's just moving at such a snail's pace. It's crazy. I'm not going to go through all the 10 key values. I am not going to torture you to all that because they should be shortened. They'd be short and to the point, and it should give you more raise a question than and provide an answer that's important. But here, I got a question for you, Snort.
Sure.
If I'm in a party and all my resources are being used for city, county, state, most of them, all my resources for a political candidate, which is money, people, time, right? Those are like the major resource and everything that falls underneath that. Do you think people would look at me like I'm a pertinent party or a viable party if I'm not going for the House or the Senate?
I think the House, at least the House,
Yes.
is necessary.
Yeah.
Now, the Senate, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But the
Senate's
House,
crazy.
and
I've go ahead. Sorry.
and the cycle on the House is much better.
Of course.
You got 2 years. If this didn't work, you got something else to try only 2 years from now.
Yeah. The cycle on the House, that's huge point. I didn't even think about that point. That's fucking awesome.
So the House is a nice, fast, and no matter what, and don't mind, I'm just conjecturing here.
No, go ahead, man.
What I think is necessary is I want to see more than one decent party out there.
Yeah.
And I did not see decent parties out here this time.
No.
But just with what I recommend with the Greens, is to have a change management system that you put out ideas. You are able to say this idea we had at this time, this is when we're going to look at it and how we're going to look at it, and this is when. And then our next meeting we'll report back on this. So you have this chain of follow-ups, and you go back and look and say, well, at the last meeting we discussed this got done. And of the few meetings I've seen on here, you had a lot of philosophy discussions. Or one meeting where you were at a meeting, and it was just, they had a guest speaker, and then they had another guest speaker. They never talked about business.
The stuff that people want to know is, I mean,
so
stuff that's going to affect the people, right?
You came to a meeting. You probably only get 12 in a year. And while, yeah, sure, what they were talking about was important, I don't think a minute of it should have been discussed at your meeting. And so the thrust, you need to be thinking about everything is when we have a meeting, it's to get something done. When you're trying to get something done in a meeting, you got to know who's doing it, when they're doing it, how they're doing it, what they need to do it. And it has to be hit. And it shouldn't be a social event.
Right.
Or if you want a social event, have a social event and then a meeing event.
Cocktails and martinis and olives and
yeah.
Derbs.
And I'd really recommend that your people get involved with other local parties to learn how parties run. And to say, you don't have to adopt all the other parties' options. We're Americans. We're supposed to steal the best ideas. Our whole philosophy is built on look at this country, what they're doing. We'll take their ideas. We'll take their best recipes. We'll take their whatever it is, so that overall we have this constant influence.
Right.
So, but rather than having to come up with all new concepts. There's concepts out there. Now, once you see the other concepts, you can say, I don't like that concept. We're not going to do that.
Right.
But you know what you're doing. And you can say, instead of that concept, we're going to do this. And you come up with a plan and a course of actions and procedures, how things get done. And you have to really ram through the thing. We're going to have a meeting. We're going to know what the meeting's for. You know, and then do it. I'll be quiet for a minute. I'm tired. I'm probably over ranting.
No. That makes sense. You know what it sounds like? It sounds like I think of things like sports. I got a sports mentality.
Well, sports is a good fit.
Yeah, and I've kind of got a business mentality too. So it's like you're all in a huddle. Here's the plan, execute it. Right? But this huddle was like, hey, let me show you some pictures on my phone of, you know what I mean? There wasn't really anything substantial happening. That's going to do anything for anybody. Oh, by the way, hi Stevie. How you doing?
I can't remember what meeting you showed.
Go ahead, Snort.
I can't remember what meeting you showed, but you showed some meeting where they had 2 guest speakers, and there was not any business in the meeting at all. It was, thanks for coming. That was our meeting this month.
That's it. That's all they wrote. It's nothing.
Do you remember that one?
2 guest speakers, and what do you mean? What happened?
That was like they were up describing the services they were going to be selling to the city or something.
Oh yeah, that was, I don't know that was just silly. But I mean, we do all kinds of stuff on the show.
But again, a meeting like that was a horrible waste. Do the people feel like they need to go back there again? Was it, if it was an attempt to get an ally or get a donation? That's what it came across like. Is that this is a company we're going to be participating with, and I could see maybe giving them a 5-minute portion to talk about whatever it is service they want to provide.
Right.
But I couldn't believe how it went on and on and on. And I've seen this in other meetings and other types. In businesses you have problems too. But you have to learn that if you're going to have a meeting, you have to plan it like a football game. There's a reason that one guy's called the quarterback, one guy's called the left back, and a wide receiver has a job of going out and catching a wide receiver.
Everybody has their position. I mean, in every sport, there's that. Even every job that's out. I mean, the thing about what I've learned mostly since I've been agreeing for about 2.5 years now is, and from what I've gathered, is there are some positions out there that don't exist. It's like we're running a football game without a tackle, or without a couple of people on the line, or a halfback, or somebody to block for the quarterback in the backfield, or we're missing a wide receiver.
So I'm not really sure what this means when you're talking these words.
Okay.
So I'm not able to understand that at all.
Well, we're just missing people, and we're missing positions. For example, I mentioned in one of the media committee, and which was vitally important. And I know that these other parties do it. And anytime you talk about what these other parties do, they're like, you're going to be just like the other party because you're doing what they're. No, they have 120 million registered voters between the two of them for a fucking reason. Because their business model works. It's because
just because they do something, it doesn't necessarily make it bad. It's just the way that they use it. They use it for bad things.
Yeah.
So I mean, just because you see, mainstream media is horribly corrupt. Jill Stein's been on there. That doesn't make her horribly corrupt. You know what I mean?
Or connected to Russia.
Yeah, but while we're sitting there and saying this about the other parties, I see that there are people that are falling into the same mentalities and the same traps as the Democrats. Oh, we're part of this, party that, this is the good party, this is the moral party, and that's all I have to do now that I've joined. My work is done. A lot of people feel like that about the Democrats. They just kind of bought into the name of the party, and then there's no real work or being done behind the scenes to make sure that it actually runs the way that it should. And that's how it ended up being what it is today, because nobody's really paying attention to it.
This is what you just brought up, something that's huge, and I've never thought about that. Listen, you two are just brilliant people, by the way. I wish I was fucking as smart as you guys. But here's the thing. Political parties are to what? Help their constituents, right? Now, you have to. Who are their actual constituents? Who do they really support? So we know that the Republicans represent big business, capitalism. Selling each piece of every service and department of the United States to the highest bidder. But what other party is not too far away from that, but in a different way, is the Democrats. But what I'm getting to is that the political parties were created for the people. It's not really for the people. It's certain people, certain corporations. That's the sad thing about it. The Green Party is for the people. Supposed to be for the people. They're supposed to be. Then they are. But you can't see them because they're not at that level. They're here. They need to be above here, which means they need to go for the House position, like Snork and I are agreeing with. I mean, what is your take on, since you're there, Stevie? Thank you for coming on, by the way. On the Green Party, and some are saying it's just not a priority. I mean, this is what this one guy, and many agree with him, it's not a priority to put a green in the House. Oh my God, Lucas, get in here. Oh shit, he's trying to get in. Oh, there's William too. Go ahead.
Okay. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's absolutely ridiculous that, okay, I'm not saying that we should abandon I'm not saying that it's absolutely unimportant, but when you're looking at the large scale of the problems that we're having and the time frame that we have to fix it, city planners not going to get us to health care for everybody or a living wage for everybody. It's just not going to happen. We're not going to fix things with the city planner. It's just not. And we have to look at the number of people we have, the amount of resources that we have, and we just don't have enough to be running these small campaigns and the bigger ones. And I just think that we really need to concentrate like a laser beam on certain critical elections in certain areas. Maybe something that would get a lot of media attention, just to, or something that would help, the best amount of people to where, our name would get out there and catch on. So once we get our foot in the door, people can start to see what we're about. When we're on like a national or on a state level, on a city level, just run for dog catcher, while you're at it. That might actually be more beneficial at this point.
It might be even more beneficial. Oh.
I will bring up
Booyah.
The highest paid political position in Illinois is the Schaumburg dog catcher.
What?
What?
What the fuck am I doing?
Schaumburg dog catcher is in charge of gambling in Illinois.
What a trip. But anyway, great point. So Stevie's so on fire with that right now because if you're not being seen at a larger stage and that you can get to that stage, good luck trying to build your party. If you're not going for gold, good luck trying to build a team. I'm in this to win. I am not in the Green Party to lose or to come in the second, third, and fourth place. If you're here to do that with the Green Party, then you shouldn't be in the Green Party. Because
I mean, I
just
don't
like
know about you, but aren't you tired of moral victories?
I'm sorry?
I'm tired of the moral victories.
Oh, yeah.
You ran a good campaign. I'm tired of the concession speeches. I want to write a winning speech. I want, like that's what I want. I want actually to get a win that gets us somewhere, that gets us health care and living wage and jobs and, better, everything.
Clean
Because these
water.
moral victories aren't doing that.
I would
And
recommend
drove me mad with this past election, this midterm election, because I see these people turn around and they're just like taking it like, well, now is not the time for optimism, okay? It is not the time. Right now, we need to be really real about how bad things are and how we're good. Because if we're just patting ourselves on the back for losing, it's not good enough. We're not gonna grow from that. It's
Hey,
crazy.
but you can get a participation medal.
one thing I'd recommend, not just the federal house, but the state houses. Because the state houses make the rule of who counts the votes and how. Right?
Right.
You say, we're going to pass a law against one person driving their own car, swapping the bags out, or having the police stop the trucks on the road and taking ballots off the truck and putting new bags on. That can happen, and you're not going to get control of those until you can legislate. And a house has more power because it can say, if you want money, you're going to do it our way.
Yeah. No, that's been like that for a while, man. It's wrong.
Right. So I would say not only go for the house of the federal, but the house of the state as an extreme priority, and that would be easier to go for.
No, we
But
have.
I would
We've
Lucas
done
made a
that.
good point in the chat. Are you there, Lucas?
Yeah, no, I got to show you guys a video real quick.
Setting up.
It's really. Oh wait, I got to show you. Darn it, this thing got small. My bad. Go ahead. I'll prepare the video. Hey, Lucas, how you doing, brother? It's been a while.
Yeah, I just got home from work.
Did you see the title? What we're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The Green Party's way
So
forward.
just to let you know, the reason why I'm having this particular show is I got people in the Green Party that are telling me, these are high-level people that have been with the Green Party forever, that are saying, oh, it's not a priority to get in the House. It's not a priority to get in the Senate. It's not a priority to be a gubernatorial. But president we want to go for, and city, county, and state positions, especially city planner. This is real.
Yeah.
This is really
Yeah.
this really happens.
Well, I think that, based on the results in the last election,
Mm-hmm.
depending on the state you're in, I really don't think that any third party has a chance of getting in at the national level or the governorship, because it's just so rigged at this point. They're willing to do anything. Like with Tim Canova's district, I can't remember if you've been following that. Like the whole Debbie Wasserman Schultz, Brenda Snipes bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
But supposedly he was tied with her, in popularity, and in support, and then yet he only gets 5% of the vote, and she gets more than 50% of the vote. I mean, in Broward County, Debbie Wasserman Schultz got more votes than Gillum and Nelson, and Gillum is way more popular than her in the polls. How can that be? How the hell can she get that? It's not even believable.
We don't want to get in. I know where you're going at. And yes, I am very concerned about the people that create these machines and make these machines that are also contributing to certain candidates. Our electoral system sucks. However, I think if you're a party, a third party, you should go for those positions that make a difference. If you're trying to actually, that's my point. So,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, you agree with that, right?
Yes, and I would say, there should be a Green Party person running for every single House seat in the country, if possible.
Sure.
I mean, that's the problem I had with my ballot was there was one one Mountain Party candidate. That was it. Now I reached out to them and I started to talk to them about, why wasn't there an option? Because I guarantee you, not a whole lot of people were crazy about Joe Manchin or Patrick Morrissey. And if there would have been any other name there, like just something else to vote for, it would have gotten at least a good percentage of the vote. But the fact is that it wasn't there. And I talked to them and they said that, there aren't very many people. They don't have any resources. These are people that are working full time and, they don't have the time for it. I mean, this is like a side thing. So, I mean, that's another big problem that we have now is that, these like Democrats and Republicans have like a huge advantage because that's what money buys you. That it buys you full-time people that can devote all their time to this. So I don't know what to do about that part because resources, money is not going to be coming in here to West Virginia. So I don't know what to do to start helping them out with that.
Well, the on the Democratic Party at least, the donations were funneled to the ones that they felt that they needed to protect, like the Debbie Wasserman Schultz, Pelosi, whatever. The campaign money was going there. The local counties up here had nothing. Just a few $100s to work with.
And I'd really like to have these people on here. I mean, we come on here and we talk about this, but I'm trying to get a meeting set up. We're supposed to have a meeting with the Green Party or the Mountain Party here, to where we can start talking about this stuff. But I mean, I tried to do it on my meeting. We're going to do an in-person meeting. It's going to take forever and a day to set up, and I'm antsy. I mean, after this last election, I'm just done. I'm just so done. Something has to change. I've been researching, collecting data. I've been nonstop, and so I want to get the ball rolling, but
It sounds like, Steven, you're more fired up than anything. Hey, Sir Chad, can you turn off? I got to mute you, dude, because you're got noise in the background. William, welcome, by the way. But I've invited a lot of Greens to come on to make their point. Hopefully, to look, I don't know if they're camera shy or if they just don't have it, but I've been told that I don't know what I'm talking about. So the problem is, and I got to show you this video. I think it's very important you guys see this, because somebody that's very big, that's got a big media position in the National Green Party knows this guy. He's a friend of his, and this guy is a serious Democrat. He's on Tom Hartman too. He's progressive, but let me just show you the video real quick. I got it on YouTube. Let me just share it here too as well. So give me a second, guys. So it's on both. I'll do it at the same time. It's a little more work, but I can pull it off. So Chad, welcome, bro. Good to see you guys. It's been so long. I just got it. The election's over. I'm free. I'll be on a little more. Let me share this real quick. Right here. There it is. Okay. Now I'm going to play this. Hopefully everybody will see it.
James from YouTube in Orange County. Go ahead.
Hi, thanks for taking my call. I truly appreciate it. Left Tom Show.
Wait. Wrong. Hold on. I got to do something. I didn't share the mic as well. Give me a second. My apologies.
You should sing the song. Howdy.
And aloha. Give me a second. Dang it. Hold on. I get click happy. That's my problem. I get fucking click happy. It's bad. It's bad. I need to. I think they should have like click happy AA meetings or something, like counseling for that. Are you clicking too much? Come to our wonderful living society of people that don't want to. Okay, here we go. Ready? All right.
James from YouTube in Orange County, go ahead.
Hi, thanks for taking my call. I truly appreciate it. Love Tom Show. Love you guys. You're awesome. Real quick, there is a term that's being used. It's called the two-party oligarchy and the duopoly. I know you've heard of that.
Sure.
He doesn't like that term. Did you see his look? He just goes, "Oh!" He just fucking said it.
Mentioned it. So, if you were to wedge a party between this Goliath, megalithic parties that own and control freaking everything, basically, do you think they would turn and look? Let's just say, if Kenneth Mejia or Laura Wells or Adolfo Cortez, who Green Party candidates, got into the House, do you think at least these two other parties might go, "Oh my God, look"? I don't think they act immediately, but they would at least look in the direction of the more lefty progressive people, if you know what I'm saying. I mean,
I do know what you're saying. Did you have a chance? Did you finish your point? It sounds like you did. So I would go local rather than national.
You see what he said? That's about all he said. And then he just started jabbering about the Democrats. That looks cool. Anyway, so I'm going to stop sharing. But did you guys get that?
Yeah, I think like
this is where they want us to go, Lucas. This is why I'm saying they want us to they want the Green Party. I say us because I'm green. They want us to go small. They do not at all want us to go big. At all. They don't. They want us to stay in our little corner. Go ahead. Lucas. Sorry.
Well, I think that like that's the problem is that people look at it and say one or the other, when in reality it should be both. We should be running Greens and other third-party candidates like socialists and Working Families Party and Mountain Party candidates on every single level. We should be running it for school board, for city council, for city planner, for county commissioner, for every single position the United States has to offer. We should be putting up alternatives to the main two parties. And and like making it specific to your region. So if socialist is a bad word where you live, then run as like another third party that isn't so much a bad word. And if the Greens are highly frowned upon where you live, then run as another third party. But like if we can get third parties like in regional parties on the ballot on the local levels, then you could change elections at the local levels while also continuously running slate after slate after slate of candidates on the state and the national levels. And even if they don't win, just having them run on the national level, like having more Greens run for every single level of government, means more votes. And in the more states that they can get 3% of the vote on and stay, get guaranteed ballot access and things like that, that's good.
In our recent ballot here, if we tried to write in a candidate, or like if an office had nobody running but just one person from one party, in the previous elections you could write in somebody else. This one, right on the ballot, it said, if you write in a candidate, your ballot will be downgraded to a provisional ballot. So essentially just a threat there to keep people from even writing in candidates anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know if that happened in yours as well.
That's insane.
I honestly think, your governor, your obviously president, your more high profile spots are going to do the most, because if you get one of the high profile, it automatically gets the attention for what's going on. And those high profile spots, it just needs to be, really some badass Greens. And the main thing I see that the problem is not any other party, isn't really anybody outside the party. The hardest part is the people within the party, because when it's pulling at 50 different directions, and I know when James was talking about, he was referring to some people saying that they should only focus on certain races, but I think same guy, even said they don't even really care about the whole presidency thing too. So it's like, just like people are working against each other, and there's no, I don't know, there's no leadership, because leadership, it has to include the cleaning house. You know what I mean? Clearing out all the, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be, these don't necessarily are bad people, you know, it just, they're in the way. You know, they're in the way of progress because they don't want to change.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is what I find extremely frustrating with this, is the fact that people are getting shut down, and all it is what was it? James, are you there?
Yeah. I am here. Go ahead. Yes.
Okay. You said something that they just said, well, they just shoot you down. What is it that they say to you? Like, that's just not a good idea? Or what? I mean, do they explain it? Do they want to talk about it? Do they say, okay, well, give me your reasons why you think this is a good idea? Explain it a little bit more. I'll explain my side. Let's come to an agreement. Was there a discussion, or was it just the shutting down of an idea that they?
Well, that's a good. I think I know where you're going with that, and I think that's a good point to make, because they don't. They don't
Because I
have.
still don't see anybody else here.
No,
Well,
I don't.
And the thing about James too is, like, you know, even you can use the whole you know Ventura as an example. You know, as he's trying to get people into the conversation, talk about it. There's not even a conversation. There's like a no. You know, we decide, we make the decision. You know, that's ridiculous, and it's a lot of talking down. You know, see, from what I've seen as you know, the outsider, me trying to be involved. You know, there's a lot of down talking, because, you know, I don't know. It's weird that these people that get in these leadership positions are like, I don't know.
Andrea.
You say what?
I said Andrea Meredith.
Is that the one you were talking about earlier?
What is her position, William? Could you tell us?
Well, she's been a national co-chair. She's on the steering committee. She's essentially somebody who's been causing a lot of smear campaigns. She's purged a great amount of people who've been in the party. And I don't know, it's just like she was a very popular Democrat back in her area, and then all of a sudden she just decides to be a Green. She's just been the cause of a bunch of just mayhem. And after reading this report by Charmaine, an indigenous Green from Standing Rock, just the way she acted there, she reminds me of my aunt, my aunt Fidessa. She's
Don't
just
get your
loud.
aunt pissed off, dude. I don't want her coming on the show and yelling at us.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
well, I just believe that there's this thing called the head of a snake, and I think with all the bad things that have happened with the party, Andrea is the head of the snake, and you need to cut off the head of the snake to to stop a lot of bad things from happening.
I think there's more than one head.
That's purely metaphor.
Yeah. Chad, I just want to say, guys, I think there's several different heads. I've heard people in my party say things, and I understand business. I understand advertising, marketing, the whole 9 yards. And I'm trying to get a public, public relations or publicity team together for candidates, which they don't have. They don't know how to stand. They don't know how to dress. They don't know how to posture. They don't know how to where to be in the sunlight. They don't know how to fucking take pictures. They don't know how to get something in the background that's important. They just don't have a fucking clue. It doesn't mean they're bad, stupid, or wrong. It just means that they don't understand publicity. So here's the thing. I got shut down for that. Like Stevie was asking, who are these people that are shutting down what the other business models are being successful at? Whoever
And if
those
they have a
people.
better idea, what I want to hear it. I mean, I don't want to
Yeah.
pursue something that when there's a better shot out there or a better idea, or if my idea is not going to work out. So please, if they have something that's better, elaborate on it, explain to me, because we're supposed to be working as a team right now. And if for them to just shut it down without a discussion or getting us on the same page, then we're not moving forward towards the same goal.
Yeah.
They're leaving people behind, and we don't have enough people as it is to be leaving people behind.
I think we need to start a new third party, like outside the Greens, because one of the problems that people like, or at least that I've noticed with the Greens, like not necessarily in Ohio, because the Ohio Green Party is so incredibly small, but in other states, is that the Democrats get in, they infiltrate the Green Party, and they have people who pretend they're true believers until they get into position of power within the party, and then they sabotage it from the inside by basically just like not doing anything and by stifling like all the attempts to do something. And so I think that if we were to create like the anti-corruption party, you know, and like call it something like that, you know, like
I like
anyone who's against it is automatically, you know, corrupt by default, because like, why wouldn't you support the anti-corruption party? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, are you corrupt? Do you support money in politics? You know, like, you know, if we were to start the anti-corruption party and run candidates at all levels, you know, it's like, and if anything bad happened to them, it'd be like, well, somebody corrupt wanted them gone, you know, like it would be like, you know, it wouldn't be, you know, super amount of protection, because of course, you know, if they want you dead, they'll kill you, but like it would be something, you know, it'd be something more than just, you know, oh, it was an accident, you know.
Yes, Lucas, I can most definitely see that, because, you know, like within the Green Party, and I'm just going to throw out her name one more time, and that'll be the last time I say it. Andrea has built walls. It's like either you're a communist or you're not allowed. Like, you have to be a full-blooded communist, kind of like me, but you have to be a full-blooded communist or you're not a Green. And I don't believe that. I believe you can be a socialist, left of center, you know, somebody who cares about the condition of the planet while being a little bit more right-wing than left, you know. That's so I can see people who've been purged from the Green Party joining this anti-corruption party because of people who have built walls. I'll be right back, but maybe you guys can build on my point.
Well, let me just say real quick. Let me just say, sorry, Chad, real quick. All right, so here's the thing. The Green Party has 250 to a little bit over registered Greens throughout the United States. Both parties that we fight against, this giant monolithic fucking mega monster out there, has about 110 to 120, 130 at times million registered voters. That's a giant difference. So here's the thing. Anybody, and this is the truth, anybody at this stage can come in and fuck this party up. My anybody anywhere. It's not big enough to where it's protected, to where it can be where it can't be twisted and finagled and it's just not big enough. So anybody can come in here, throw a banana on the floor, and get everybody to fucking trip. That's the problem. So the goal right now. Sorry, the goal right now. Let me just say the goal. The goal should be is reaching out and bringing more people in. Period, and giving them the ability to see that we are going to be as big. We are going to be as strong. But Lucas brings up a great point. Because if these guys don't fucking get it together, okay, another party could start to rise. But here's the thing. That could, by the time you get another party to do anything, you just don't have time. Like I said in the beginning of my show, we have 12 actual years to really do something substantial.
I don't know. I think if we were to start now with a campaign for the anti-corruption party, get everyone we know to blast it, get Graham Elwood on board, get Ron Placone on board, get Jamarl Thomas on board, and point out the flaws like within the internal structure of the Green Party and like the lack of transparency on certain levels, and make it so the anti-corruption, like one of the main pillars of the anti-corruption party would be that all of the internal discussions and the internal politics of the party are transparent for everyone to see and democratically come to decisions on. It'd be more structured more like a co-op and like a cooperatively, run employee-owned business type thing. It would be a party that would literally be of and by the people rather than a party that's for the people but not really of and by the people. Because like Green, it depends on what state you're in, of course. Like the Green Party of Ohio is very small. As of right now, it's very democratic. There's very few of us. There's like 40 of us mainly, like that actually participate, in the actual like voting and conferences and stuff like that. But like, on the national scale, it's like getting a new party to start and get the same amount of traction that the Green Party has. Depending on what state you're in, it would be basically like starting from the same position. You wouldn't actually have that much more of a head start in the Green Party than you would with any other new party that would come into existence tomorrow.
See what I like about the Green Party is, the whole 4 pillars thing. I think, I know you posted whatever all there's the 4 pillars and then there's the
10 key values.
Well, here's the thing. Most of those key values can fall underneath one of those pillars. So that's why I look at those pillars as kind of, for me, since we're fighting the establishment, we're going to have to fight these people and fight this type of issues like this. And the Green Party is operating like, the DNC. It's just like the DNC Light or the RNC Light. There's these like little cliques, little groups, little people that don't want anybody else to come in because they don't want to see their power structure or their vision of what's going on, change.
Right.
And so it would be a way to show that coming together we could do that. Because if like you said anybody can come in and take over. That's why I look at it as like, okay, well, we're halfway there then. If we know what's wrong with it, we know the internal workings. We know a lot of the names and the people that are offering or adding the problems. Adding the kind of the energy of the party. Because that's what they're creating. Really, they're the ones that are pumping out what it's about. I don't know. I think it's a good opportunity to keep fighting in this manner. I wouldn't say the same thing about the Democratic Party because the Democratic Party is a different situation. But I think, steady course on trying to overhaul the Green Party is there. And the big key is a spearheads, like somebody like Jesse Ventura. It goes back to that, somebody that leads really creates that leadership thing. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you're talking about, Chad, but like a lot of the people on the steering committee, like I think a great deal of them are state socialists. They're not eco-socialists, they're state socialists.
What does that even mean?
What is that?
They're authoritarians.
That's a good question. Stevie just brought up something very important. And I got to tell you right now that eco-socialists, state socialists, this stuff that the Green Party's bringing up with a lot of these people, Aaron Fox talks about it, people have no fucking idea what that is. And they don't really care. Okay? What happens is people want, and Stevie brought it up earlier, and you guys know this, Lucas, I know you know this. We want a living wage, 17 plus an hour. We want full comprehensive universal health care for everybody. Okay, we want McCutcheon versus the FEC and Citizens United gone. We want money out of politics for sure. Nobody's fucking bringing that up on two parties. We want to mend relations with victimized countries and wind down these wars and stop the growth of the military industrial complex, and the list goes on and on. Green new jobs, green deals, all these other things. But when the Greens start talking about ecological wisdom and social, whatever thing, that you lose people. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but in regards to the Green parties, they actually have their own nomenclature. They actually have their own terminology.
Well, and this is, I wanted to
Go ahead.
like one of the things that's been happening lately. Like today, I left all but one of the Ohio Green Party group chats because they were having internal discussions about the directions and the future of the party, and like the way the people were talking about it was just like so disconnected from reality when it comes to getting more people to vote for the party. And it's like the idea that, okay, if you want to run in the Green Party and you're going to have a fight over what kind of socialist we should be, well, then you should have a socialist party. And if you really are a socialist and you believe in that, enough to call yourself like a socialist in terms of like you support a specific kind of socialism, then that's not the place. Like you could have a coalition with the Green Party, you could agree with them, but that shouldn't be the place to make the Green Party stand for that. The Green Party already has a platform that people are supposed to get behind. And when it comes to implementing that platform a certain way, okay, you can have disagreements about how to implement that, but like whether or not the Green Party should be a state or eco-socialist thing doesn't matter. It's irrelevant to the Green Party. That's a candidate's focused issue. Like the idea that people think that the Green Party should be more socialist or less socialist, it's like if you think it should be more socialist, then join the Socialist Party, and if you think it should be less socialist, then join a different party. Like I don't know. Like I think that like when people use the term socialism, like most of the time, for example, like or to start, they don't even know what they're talking about because like they play on the right wingers terms and they say that social programs is the same thing as socialism. When by definition socialism is just worker ownership of the means of production, which means that syndicalism would also pass as socialism. But the average person isn't going to know what syndicalism is. And syndicalism, therefore, isn't as bad a word. So if you want to talk about syndicalism or socialism, you can veil it as syndicalism. But like again, it's completely irrelevant to the idea of the Green Party.
Yeah, I mean, like just speaking for like locally here, these aren't things that people have the luxury to think about. You know what I'm saying? Like they're thinking about, well, I only made $400 on this check and my bills are $800. Okay, I got an eviction letter. Okay, so, well, I sprained my ankle. I can't work. What am I going to do? I can't afford to go to the doctor. It's just stuff like that. And then you have the Green Party sitting there talking about, Israel and Palestine, and not that it's not, it's a thing that's important, but this is not when we're talking about votes. When at the end of the day, we need people in our party to help us to donate to vote. And when we're talking about stuff like that, it's totally that we're not offering them anything. We have to get their attention, earn their respect, and give them a solid game plan about how we plan on getting elected, and to be strong. Because if you're weak, no, you cannot be weak in this. You can't be wishy-washy and sit there and talk about debate on philosophies and people about that died hundreds of years ago. People need solutions right now, and that's why I think we lose so many people. We're not reaching them because ecological wisdom. I mean, like those, oh God, those 10 key values. I get so triggered every time James brings this up. I get so triggered. They're talking about social justice and we're not the part of the top of the food chain, man. Like what? Oh my God. Like, people can't afford to go out and buy a loaf of bread. What are you talking to me about this stuff about? Like, I just don't get it. People don't have the time or the energy for this.
Yeah,
and it's our job as a party to be able to go out there. It's not their job to learn about us. It's our job to reach them. And we're just not doing it.
Well, that's why I like the idea of like the anti-corruption parties, because you can make the platform very simple and straightforward. It's like, alrighty, we're going to end, the gerrymandering by, doing multi-member districts that are proportionally represented. And then, we can say we're going to, end the spoiler candidate by instituting ranked choice voting. We're going to get money out of politics by doing capped public funding of elections, with no outside spending, and like that kind of thing. It'd be, like there's ways in which we can solidify the hold of democracy in this country, and we can expand the amount of representatives. And if we really wanted to make this country more representative and democratic, and do a massive scale overhaul that could theoretically help save us from climate change, we would increase the number of representatives in Congress by like several thousand, and like think about if you're trying to buy Congress people. Right now there's 435 members of the House, and some of them do sell for really cheap. They're really cheap prostitutes. They'll sell their vote for $1,000. But think about, if you're bribing 435 for a giant corporation, that's pretty easy. But if you have to bribe like 3,000 politicians, that's a lot harder. And if we had stuck with the original number the Constitution said, we'd have 10 times that many representatives in Congress, and like Congress would be a city unto its own. And to me, if we wanted to have a better system, we'd have multiple Congresses, and since we have the internet now, like each state could have its own Congress that's on the national level within the state, and they could all communicate with each other, and have representatives and delegates that can travel and do all that kind of stuff. But like with the internet, there's no need for the idea of Washington D.C. anymore. Like the idea of a capital city, like it's a beautiful city, it was really well designed, probably one of the nicest in America, but like right now it's a playground for politicians and lobbyists where they can get all the blow they want and all the hookers they want and cheat on their wives all they want, and go all the fancy balls and lobbyist parties and concerts and just live it up, and never ever have to face any of their constituents. I like the idea of making it mandatory that politicians have to come back and face their constituents for at least the majority of the year. Like you shouldn't be able to like go only visit, home at Christmas time and Thanksgiving, and like pretend to go to church, twice a year and then go back to DC and avoid any kind of accountability. Like, I don't know. I think that the Green Party just doesn't reach people in most places. I mean, it has reached people in places, but like in most places, like where I live, I mean, I just don't think it's going to reach enough people to make a difference. But I think that if you had really strong people who went out there kind of with the unabashed Trump approach, willing to just say what's on their mind, but they had the right ideas and they weren't bought, if they weren't corrupt, then we could probably sweep the state houses, and I mean, I just think it would be a much different story.
I'm just saying, Stevie and Lucas really hit the nail on the head over there. Oh, they really did. Yeah, I mean, the Green Party, like any party, needs to go out and earn votes. That's the whole thing to elections. You go out and you earn votes.
I mean, that's what we do. Do we not criticize the Democrats for feeling like they don't have to do anything, that they just automatically get your vote?
Yeah, and
the Green Party, I know that they have obstacles to overcome, but you have to earn their vote. You have to get out there and talk to them on their level. Explain to them what is it that you're going to do for them. I mean,
yeah, I mean, you can't just go out and earn votes, going deep into philosophical matters like,
what is it that you're going to do
you're
for
a
them?
professor or something. Yeah, I mean, you can't just go out and earn votes, going deep into philosophical matters like,
what is it that you're going to do
you're
for
a
them?
professor or something. Yeah, I mean, you can't just go out and earn votes, going deep into philosophical matters like,
what is it that you're going to do
you're
for
a
them?
professor or something.
Where's the
Yeah, I mean,
feedback coming from?
you can't just go out and earn votes.
All right.
Is that what I sound like? Was that me?
No, it's just
Yes,
I
sir.
pulled up YouTube and it automatically turned it on. Go ahead, sorry.
But
Well,
yeah, no, like people just be acting like they're Aristotle or Diogenes out in the street or something. I don't know. It's just crazy.
see, I think that the perspective to look at it is not about how the Green Party. I mean, we need to know obviously what's wrong with it, but we need to know what needs to do and focus on that, because to be the leadership, to get something to where we want it and what we believe in, it's really is a spearhead, and I think that's why I don't see a lot of this, this type of conversation about trying to push things forward in this manner, not with the Green Party.
That's my point, though. Like I was trying to say earlier, like with the idea that the party structure is too contaminated with people who are in there stifling it, and like it's very high up. Like the idea that we can reform the Green Party, is that just as crazy as the idea that we can reform the Democratic Party? Probably not, but the idea that we can reform it in time to save like ourselves from like global, extinction, I don't know. Like it might be just short.
I don't think that it's. See, here's the thing. I don't think that the Green Party's that organized to that point to where you see to where you have that same type of barrier. The problem with the Green Party is that there's a bunch of little factions, and everybody kind of believes in the same thing, but each of those factions kind of blow smoke up their own little echo chamber ass. You know what I mean? So that's why on the whole level, the national, nothing moves forward because everybody's still, focused on, kissing each other's ass, the little circle jerk thing. And then you have a few different people from the different states that are the ones like James talking about that are kind of being the gatekeepers and kind of shooting down ideas, people that have respect and have some sort of seniority in the party. They're the ones that are shooting it down and making it seem like, oh, that's ridiculous, which, that translates to people underneath them, because the problem is people still treat the Green Party like they treated the Democratic Party. I don't think it's. We have to change in how we view our control over the party, if that makes sense. The control over the energy, over what it is. Like,
but
So
that's a state level question. Like, how much control we have over the party depends on, what state you're in and like your local party. Like in Ohio,
no. Because here's the thing is there's only 250,000 deep. Like if you brought 500,000 people into it with a core crew of people and got that type of attention, you're the man. There's no stopping it. There's no controlling it because you have that 500,000 people.
But there's
you're organizing
between that.
Go ahead.
There's between that, Chad. It doesn't just, you can't just do that. Like you have to have like the organization. You have to have money. You have to be able to go to places and campaign and organize. Like, one of the barriers to entry for people to like the Green Party at the national level, like if they want to get into Green Party politics, and meet people on the national level, is like if you want to go to the convention, like that's a lot of money. You have to take time off from work.
You're thinking about getting into their game. It's trying to fit into their game. The internet is everything. Remember during the whole Bernie season when they did the Bernie blackout, there wasn't none of that. Everything came through the internet with these memes and all these groups and everything. That's everything. If there was somebody that like was the face of the Green Party and have that the whole package as far as this is the movement, this is what we're doing, and we're not afraid to get rid of people in the party out, because that's what people want to see. They want to see that parties are the parties ready to purge people out of powerful positions in the party in order to move forward. Because it's like a preview of what you're really about.
Katie, you were going to say something earlier.
I feel like I'm bad about doing this, jumping all over the place. I get a little bit scatterbrained, but I think so far we've basically kind of talked about two different things, two different problems. One, how to get more people in the party, get the votes, etc. The other one is the power structure within the Green Party and how to fix that to where we can actually make the changes to where we can get the people in. So I don't think, see, here's the thing. We all believe the same things. I mean, we're all Green Party. We're all on the same page. We all want to save the world, right? So, I don't see these people like they're enemies, but I am frustrated and that that this isn't a discussion. And this is why I left the Democratic Party, is because, I'm here to work. I'm here to do a job that needs to be done. And if I'm not going to be, if allowed to do that, I will take my services somewhere else, and I will, work somewhere else, because if they don't, they need us. We don't need them. Okay. And if they want to sit there and just, do whatever it is that they're doing and keep losing, then that's on them. And at this point, because that was my frustration with the Democratic Party, is, you're not, it's a brick wall. And I'm not going to keep banging my head against a brick wall. And we don't have the time to keep doing that either. So is it what Lucas was saying? Yeah, that seems like a step back, and it seems like it would be harder, but, we just don't have time to sit here and just keep, trying to convince people. And if we can't do it, I mean, like I said, they're not enemies. We just have to find a way to get them to listen. And I don't know how to do that. Or not even get them to listen. Just speak, explain your idea. Like, how do we get a conversation started with these people? But there's no feedback. There's nothing.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. That's perfect. And the reason why that's so perfect is because that also warrants to be alert, to be suspicious. That kind of behavior where they're not able to come into the conversation, or they don't have the ability to. I mean, these people can do press releases and they can do all this other shit, but they won't talk about what's important right now. And the shows that I've had in the past, they don't come on because they don't have a viable reason for what they're doing, which gives me the belief, which Lucas has brought up, and all of you guys kind of are thinking this. Are they planted? Are they here to fucking just piss people off and just? I mean, it's like they're going after. It's almost like they're going after me because I have the ability to really grow a party. I mean, is that an ego on my part? Probably, but at the same time, what I'm concerned about is if there are actual infiltrators, people that are actually here where they actually get a check from the DCCC or the DNC, and they're actually here in the Green Party to do whatever it takes to fucking keep us at the state and city level only. So when when I hear somebody say to me, that's not a priority, which is this guy who's moronic. I'm going to say he's moronic because he chooses to be, because he's a buffoon at this point because he chooses to be. The problem is he knows I'm right. He's not that stupid. I know he's not that stupid. He's not even remotely stupid. He knows that this party needs to focus, put more time, more resources, that's people and money, towards going for these higher positions, and he fucking knows it. But he's trying to he's trying to tell others not to do the same thing. And there's a bunch of people, and there's a few people in this party that are on the same boat with that. Because, like I said, and you saw it with that video, that's where the Democrats and the Republicans want the Green Party to be. They don't want them going any higher. So if you're not going to go any higher, and if you just want participation medals, and if you just want to be in third and second place and fourth place, and you're not going for the fucking gold, then why are you even here? Why are you even here?
Well, statistically speaking, you know, it's very likely that there's plenty of people at the highest level that reason, because like one of the things that whenever I first was joining the Green Party, I was like researching was like because like people always complain, you know, like people who don't even like participate with the Green Party complain about its organization skills and like say that they're not organized as a party and that they don't have their shit together, that they don't go out there and actually work on things and lower level races and all that kind of stuff, because like that's just like the standard, you know, corporate line is that the Green Party's not working on anything except for the presidency. And like, you know, that we all know that's BS. We all know that they've got local candidates and they passed ranked choice voting in Maine. But one of the reasons that they have had problems organizing in the past is like if, let's say they would buy campaign headquarters, right? Well, all of a sudden there'd be some problems with that campaign headquarters, like regulatory problems with it. Like it wouldn't be all of a sudden it would be up to code and things would need replaced, and you know, they'd have to put the place up for sale and somebody would make them a really good offer on the place to buy out their office, and like just all kinds of shady shit like that, like where the Democratic Party comes and buys the infrastructure out from underneath the Green Party. Like that kind of shit has happened a lot. Like where they basically they would just come out and bought the infrastructure. Like the Green Party will work on building infrastructure and then they'll sell it to the Democrats. And then they'll work on building infrastructure and then they'll sell it to the Democrats. And sometimes it seemed like it's been like because they had no choice because of like, you know, problems and like all of a sudden like the party hits hard times. But sometimes it seems like it was coordinated, like as if like the Green Party was sabotaging itself, or like the people who are running that chapter of the Green Party and who were really good at getting it organized, you know, that all of a sudden they decided they were just going to throw that all away and sell it to the Democrats.
Oh my goodness, Lucas. Yes. The most prominent example of that is here in Arizona. Let me just tell you this quick little history lesson of the Green Party of Arizona. The Green Party of Arizona used to have an elected officer by the name of Kirsten Sinema. She was, people used to think she was as green as they came. And, long story short, she left the Green Party, I think, I guess around the time David Cobb became the nominee. And she ran for Congress as a Democrat, and she won. And right now, she's the Senate. She's the U.S. Senate candidate, and she's in the lead. No, she had created a lot of infrastructure for herself using the Green Party banner. By getting people who are anti-establishment Republicans and anti-establishment Democrats, and getting them more aligned with her name rather than, I guess, the green name. And she sold all the infrastructure she used with the Green Party banner to the Democratic Party. Exactly what you were talking about. She wasn't a Green after all. She was a Democrat.
And you're gonna have to expect that. Expect that if you're really making someone work, if you really have them on their toes, they're gonna fight back. They're silent until you start making headway. Then they're gonna do the smear and then take their steps or whatever. So I mean that shit needs to be talked about. But I think it's like everything. There's everybody's fighting for the soul of whatever it is, their party or their religion or whatever. Everybody's trying to, figure out what everything's supposed to stand for, because, the social media and well, just arts, entertainment, it creates this I guess, image of it, of, I don't know where I'm going with that.
Well, I mean, Chad, I think what you're saying is that these are cults of destruction, right? that that an independent thinker can be called both a left-wing snowflake and a right-wing conspiracy theorist constantly.
And it's yes, it's interesting. Interesting. I mean, people are going to feel more comfortable if they see that the Green Party is purging. You know, these
Yes.
people, and that's what I see. You know, that was the whole thing that I really liked about, you know, GNN. At first, I was under the impression that it was coming from a real, you know what I mean? Like I was expecting, you know, a chivalrous way about doing it, you know, coming from that angle, you know, if you're doing it from as a news or an entertainment network kind of thing, or news or whatever, journalism.
I mean, you thought that they were cleaning house, but
Yeah.
Yet again, they hold on to a particular figure like Joe Manchin, who I have a love-hate relationship with. But you know, and you know, anything he says is just law. It's just the fact, and then you're not allowed to disagree with this person. It's the same thing with, I'm going to say it again, I'm sorry, James, Andrea Meredith. You know, it just has to do with personality worship, I suppose. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're right about that, Chad. I'll let you continue.
Now, as I say, the outreach needs to include, like, hey, the party has these players. They have these types of cats that are, you know, and some of these people are so passive aggressive the way that they do things. It's real subtle, and they're like super like condescending in like real nice ways. You know what I mean? It's pointing that out to people that are looking for a new party, looking somewhere to go, and saying, hey, you know, wherever you go, you're going to have to deal with that. You're going to have to deal with that hierarchy type of thing. Always. I mean, the only other viable thing, but by 2020, I would say the People's Party. Is that like a full-fledged party, or is that just like an organization that's trying to do it for a third party? The one with Nick Brana, you guys know.
I mean, you know, when it comes to the People's Party by Nick Brana, I think that Gail McLaughlin was chased away from the Green Party because of, well, the absolutists in the party that have targeted her. I mean, yeah, I have disagreements with Gail McLaughlin, but she's still my friend. I mean, I don't like her supporting Bernie, but that's not something that I'm necessarily going to just rail against her on. And that's what I saw a lot of Californian Greens do to her. You know, she was elected mayor. She beat I think it was Exxon or something. You know, in her state. I mean, in her city, she became a mayor. All this stuff. But and then still people want to just give her endless crap for affiliating herself with Nick Brana, whom, you know, I've had a few contacts with. He's not the worst person in the world, like a lot of people want to portray him as. I don't support Bernie, but, you know, I don't have a problem with Nick Brana's little movement. It brings a lot of attention to issues. And you know, that's just another thing. People want to focus all their attention on Nick Brana's party, which has only made it, which has only made him more powerful, honestly, in the eyes of.
And that was something that confused me about that too, because I'm like, if Nick Brana is getting all this attention because he was doing a lot of it, why isn't he trying to really kind of pull some of this stuff together? I don't know. Something was weird about that whole thing, but it seems like, like Jimmy Dore, like, he like fucks with them. You know what I mean? So I don't know the guy. I haven't really done too much research, but
I mean, Nick Brana was on Chris Hedges this one time, and Chris Hedges was talking to Nick Brana about the problems with Green Party leadership, and Chris Hedges just continued to shit on the Green Party, and for the first time in my life, when it came to shitting on the Green Party, I actually, kind of nodded my head along with what Chris Hedges was saying.
I've always seen him like advocate for the Green Party.
Yes, he's spoken at rallies for Jill. He was Ralph Nader's speechwriter.
See, people don't understand. That's advocating, calling out the problems and the issues of why things aren't moving forward.
I mean, but that's what I'm saying is I've always heard him say that like Green Party is the only real true way that we're going to make changes, that it's not going to happen within the duopoly. For him to come out and just be like, yeah, this is a problem. But he never shies away from identifying the problem.
It's just that Andrea and Cobb have both attacked Hedges.
Okay,
we've both done so.
I want to kind of bring it back onto the topic of getting these people to listen. So can we think of maybe a couple of different ideas as to how we can get them to listen and to get them to have like an open discussion?
You think that they're actually?
If not, where do we go? So
the question is, do we need to get their attention, or is the next step to just out support them as far as get more support, get more energy behind what's going on, to say where you're not going to turn down the whole Jesse Ventura page. As people are finding it, because I administrate on there, as people find it, people write letters. People are like, "Oh, I hope you run." They're really excited, and it's interesting just to see random people, become, have some energy towards something, So
I mean, like Jimmy Dore, he's a really big fan of Bernie Sanders, but while in the presence of Jesse Ventura, he called Bernie a sheepdog. that was, I think that was the first time I ever heard Jimmy Dore call Bernie a sheepdog, was during the Jesse Ventura interview. Because Jesse's just, I just guess he just influences the mind like that and influences people's biases. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think Jimmy Dore's been really, critical of Bernie Sanders. I mean, Bernie Sanders has not been on the show, and Jimmy's made it clear that Bernie's been ducking him on actually doing it. He's been on all these other shows, but.
Well, that's why Sam Cedar and David Pakman and all those assholes have been giving Jimmy crap for weeks now, they've been using his name on all their videos to try to get clicks because, he is critical of the Democratic Party and of Bernie Sanders for trying to support this dead party and get people to vote against their interests. And because he's critical of Bernie Sanders, even though he supports Bernie Sanders, and even though he's critical of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, even though he supports her, all these fucking dumbass, liberals go on their radio shows and try to say that Jimmy Dore is toxic and he's awful and he doesn't know anything, and they just mindlessly bash him and say he's like a cultist you know, anti-progress, you know, person, and it's, you know, yeah, it's like that bugs the shit out of me. Like that those people are taken seriously, like whenever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're referring to like the Sam Cedars and David Packmans, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't. I can't stand those two in particular. You know, Sam Cedar and David Packman. The way that they go after Jimmy all the time, it's crazy.
So what's, I mean, really, what's the way to get these people out of the position, people that are standing in the way? Like, how do we get better suited and
Chad, well, Chad, you had it right and I had it wrong. You have to call their names out, and that's what I've been doing.
I see.
Doing what you did.
It gets the conversation going though. People show their ass quick,
and then
they're biased.
I don't think.
Yeah, and then, but yeah,
answer.
Andrea came on to my post, you know, trying to rebuke what I was saying, but then just so many other Greens just came in saying I hate Andrea and all this stuff, and they were using stronger wording than I was. But yeah, that's inspiring to me, I suppose. So thank you, Chad.
Dude, you're on it, man.
I want to say that I think there is no just one right way to like change. If you want change in the Green Party, you know, and if you personally don't think that leaving the Green Party is the way to go, or starting a new third party is the way to go, then, you know, it's like the whole primary that we're starting a third party thing with Democrats. It's like, well, you can, you know, primary the Green Party people and like run people to take their spots and call them out and, you know, try to change the party from within. Or, you know, if you're in a different area where you don't agree with that position or you don't think that'll work, then start running other third party candidates that you think will win, you know, like run anti-corruption candidates. Or if you live in Washington State, then run socialist alternative candidates. Or if you live, you know, any, like just do the thing that'll get a sane person in office as soon as possible where you live, because like we have so little time. And, you know, I'm, you know, young, and I have siblings that are younger than me. I have an 11-year-old brother, I have a 1-year-old brother, and I have a brother that's less than 1 year old. And it's like, considering the world could burn up and end in like the human species could end in my lifetime, what the hell am I supposed to do for them?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking is if these people won't listen to my words, then they can just witness my actions. If they don't want to listen to that, you know, either way, they're gonna. I'll make them obsolete. Who are they? You know, if they don't want to listen to a good idea, fine, fuck off then. All right. You don't want to talk to me, fine. Don't talk to me then. You know, but I will do whatever it is that I need to do in order to get somebody in office that'll do the things that need to be done. So if they're not going to do it, I'll just do it myself. Fuck it. We don't need to answer to other people. You know, we've got it together. We're smart. We're capable. We're willing to put in the hard work. Fuck them.
I mean, like all these people that James invited on, you know, that don't come on because they're bold when they're typing up some insults directed at you, but they're not bold when they actually have to talk to you. So I'm just saying, Chad has had it right all along. You have to call out their names, and I'm not going to do it on James' show anymore right now because I know he doesn't want to be involved with it. But no, I'm going to be calling out some names on my own platforms, and yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
But well, okay. So you've got your game plan. My game plan is just to move forward with you know what I think is the right course of action, and I don't want it to seem like these people. You know, my words are kind of harsh sometimes, but it's not because I'm not empathetic to these people. It's just that time is a factor, and I want to get this done. And, you know, if they see what we're doing and they're seeing that it works and they want to jump back on board and say, you know, they don't have to say they're wrong. They just, you know, like, hey, I want in on this. You know, I see that it's working. Okay, like, I want to help. The door's always open, you know? So when they see that it's working, and they will, and they want to help out, all right, that's cool. But if you don't want to help and you don't have anything to say, then I don't see what you have to offer to what we're doing here.
We're about to die from so instantly from the effects of man-made climate change. And I just find it so amazing that so many,
we're using our manners.
I mean, so many people want to talk about Jesse saying that he could waterboard Dick Cheney. That's an argument that I've heard. Like that's him defying the non-violence value. Him saying that he's going to waterboard Dick Cheney.
Well, he's been waterboarded before, so I mean, if anybody can be sarcastic, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, like they don't want to see it as sarcasm. They just want to see him as the devil.
Well, I mean, but here's the thing: is when you see people get hung up on stupid little things, and you see that they don't really do their research, they don't follow through, they're not listening to all these things that are happening. When you see that, then that's when you realize to stop taking this person's opinion to value. You know, I mean, they may know some certain things in this certain area, this certain window, but we give people respect and avenues that they don't deserve respect. They don't deserve, you know, the position. For me, what I'm trying to get is this organization for the Green Party Nation. I think that's just the best way to do it. Everything we're talking about, it just has to be organized in a way that maps out, what it's supposed to be about, what's important. And then again, all the bullshit that's happening, people need to know that and say, okay, well, shit, if I'm going to come into a party, at least let me go into a party that is actively trying to drain their own swamp and realizing,
So, James Snort, what do you think? What's going to be your plan of action?
Well, I'm still doing my best to work within what parties are here. Still analyzing the last crapshoot we had last week. And I suppose we could save that for another show. But Green Party isn't the only one with trolls. And the Republicans are upset with people. The Democrats are upset with the people. The west half of the state did not vote very well. And we had two progressive candidates actually make it to the Congress from Iowa. And we had a establishment Democrat fail to win the governorship. So that alone has some statements on its own. People are afraid to give to any of the parties right now. In this area, they're not giving money. It's open secrets. There's just no money given because everybody felt that they were cheated in the last one. We've lost so many volunteers. Like a lot of the people you'll see with Nick Brana's group are former Democrats who left. So I still say it's best to, for me, I'm trying to help whatever parties I can get going to get good candidates out. Because overall, we have to run the country. I'm not going to be here forever, and I need to know that there's something good in place for my kids.
Yeah, good point. Okay, so
yeah, and Ohio,
yeah,
like
go ahead,
no,
Ross.
like it just completely made me have no faith in the electorate in this state, because pretty much every single incumbent in the state, except for like some of the state house races and some of the state senate races, like in the Ohio General Assembly, like everything else went to the incumbent, every single race. So the free gerrymandered Democrat districts, the Democratic incumbent won, and the rest of the districts that are gerrymandered Republican, the Republican won, and they were all safe. And Sherrod Brown won. He was safe. He got his Senate seat. And then we had the Republican governor killed Cordray. DeWine killed Cordray, even though DeWine has previously said he doesn't support coverage for pre-existing conditions. It's like that's how bad things are. A governor, a man who doesn't support coverage for pre-existing conditions just won the governorship in Ohio. Like that's how uninspiring the Democratic candidate was, and like that's how fucked like our state's politics are. It's like like Constance got 40,000 votes, like the Green Party candidate, which blows my mind. Like that's great, and she got 400 of those just in my county alone, which like whenever I saw that, like blew my mind because like I live in super duper red territory where like people in both parties hate third parties, and like I was very nice to see that at least 400 other people in my county think the same way I do, and decided to vote for Constance. But she didn't even. She just got about 1%, maybe 1 point something percent of the vote, if that. And Joe Manchin lost his race, and like the other Green Party candidates lost their races. It's like they were all running, for positions, and like a lot of them announced late. Like I don't think that there's enough there for the Ohio Green Party to have any kind of political will to will themselves into a position of power before the world ends. So I think that as far as the Ohio Green Party goes, considering my struggles and trying to get other people to participate and join and build it up within the last 2 years, I'm pretty ready to give up on the Ohio Green Party and like try to start a different third party with people. Just because the Ohio Green Party like seems to turn more people off than it turns on in my state.
Now, real quick, I'm hearing that everywhere. I'm dealing with people that in the party itself, they're pushing people out by being very abusive, and they bully people within the Green Party. They just so many things that they're doing that are negatives, that are complete and total negatives for the party. And I'm hearing that not just in California, but I'm hearing that in other states. It's almost like there are people placed in these parties just to fuck it up. And it's overwhelming.
I'm gonna say it again. A lot of them are symptoms of the leadership of Andrea.
Yeah, I get you. Here's the thing: is the national party should be running other parties. Period. When you give these states their own power to fucking do stupid shit, they continue to do it. They go in these directions that are against other states. They go in these directions that are against the national party. The problem with the Green Party is, like I've always said, when I had David Cobb, who actually ran for president a while back, I brought up uniformity and unity, and everybody being and paddling in the same direction, and he went immediately to the 4 pillars and the 10 key values or something. He didn't even address it. So that's a huge problem. And then getting people to get out there and vote. Like in Los Angeles, 30% of the people that could vote voted. So the rest of them didn't in Los Angeles County. That's terrible. I mean, in Kings County, which is another county in California, 35%. I mean, Humboldt County is like where all the pot comes from in Northern California, which I got a buddy who has a nice fucking farm out there. James Benno is his name. He used to hang out, but he does it medicinally. He's turning it into a business. He's not going corporate the way. But anyway, Only 37% out there. And the sad thing is right now what we're seeing is there's so many people in this country do not like the Republicans. They do not like um, the Democrats, and they're looking for something viable, something that will welcome them in. And there are people that are in this party right now that do not have that kind of mentality. They don't have that kind of soul. They don't have that kind of spirit. They don't have that kind of, if anything, they should just do administrative work, just get on the side and stay there and let people that know how to attract people and how to grow a party, let them do that job. But other than that, get the fuck out of the way. But they keep jumping in the way and they keep stifling everything that I try to do, that many other Greens try to do, and they go on these tangents and these detours of these fights on emails. It's like they only talk on emails. They only talk in social media. They won't come on and have a fucking roundtable discussion. They're all a bunch of testicles because they're not pussies. Pussies are a lot stronger. I'm just telling you. But the thing is it's sad, and they're fucking just, it's like they're trolling. It's like they're paid trolls, and it's so terrible. And I'm going through this constantly, and I need these people, I need the party overall to understand that it needs positive, energetic people that have that type of character, that type of mentality to get out there to bring people in. They need these people. They don't need people that abuse and that are that bully and that go after people constantly for the stupidest things, because they believe in everything, but they're just not big about maybe infrastructure spending. So now you're not a Green Party person. You know, it has to be, everything has to be hit perfectly. They want perfect Greens in the perfect party. That doesn't happen in any party. So my point is tonight, I'm just letting you know, I'm going to be going pretty soon, about 5, maybe less than 5 minutes, is there are people in the way in the party of the Green Party. They need to get out of the way. And those people that want to bring people into the party to grow it so you can have more resources, because the party doesn't have shit. It doesn't have shit. 250,000 people in the United States, when you have other two parties, the two-party oligarchy that has 110, 120, 130 million registered voters at times, it's fucking crazy. It's just insane. So to grow a party, it's going to take time, Lucas. It's going to take a lot of time. And the Green Party has everything that the country and the planet needs with its pillars, its wisdom, but the people that are in it, there are a few people in it that are a distraction. They're little walls, and they need to be pushed out of the way or bulldozed so that the party can grow. And those people need to be called out. So in my next show, next week, we are going to call out all these people. We're going to bring every name we have, and we're going to show the proof of what they're doing and how bad they're doing it. It's time.
Yes, James, I'm so excited for this. Naming names.
Yeah, and Lucas, everybody, it's going to be everywhere. I'm going to televise this. It's going to be on my Facebook. It's going to be on YouTube. It's going to be on my Twitter. But we're going to throw out. We're not just going to just throw out a name randomly. I'm going to have proof. I'm going to have their words of what they've said displayed. I'm going to throw them under the fucking bus, and then I'm going to back up the bus, run over them again, and back it up again until I run out of fucking gas. Because these people, honestly, are just such a Debbie Downers. They're just so, it's like they love being disgusting and sickly and terrible. It's crazy. So I'm going to definitely expose all those people. I'm going to have other people bring that information here. I'm going to have Harsh on because I know he's got some shit. I'm going to have a bunch of people bringing out who they believe is stifling this party, and if they don't have proof, then they can't come on. They have to bring proof first. I've got tons of it. What do you guys
Yeah,
think?
I have tons of proof on Andrea, and I got tons of proof on a lot of other people. But I think, if you want to have me on, I mean,
I do, yeah, of
I have a
course.
lot of things on Andrea.
Yeah, well, you have to bring, if you've got any posts or anything that she said or anything like that. I'm talking about not just what you've heard. I mean, we need absolute and total proof. So I'm going to be able to display it on the share screen of who these people are and what they're doing.
I mean, she was calling you a lot of things.
Go ahead.
She was calling you a lot of things, Andrea.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I looked into that.
Yeah.
I'll show you it soon.
Well, send that to me. I'd like to see that. I didn't know that. I'm good. At least I'm reaching people, right? But if you guys got anything, Chad, if you see anything greenwise, Snark, if you see anything greenwise out there, bring it. If you have something, not tonight, next week, we got a week to do some research. We'll get some other people, and they can bring some stuff. If they got stuff on me, they can bring it too. I'm okay. Is there anything I'm doing that's bad? Anything I should do? But when you're bringing facts to the table, and this is all I do when I talk to these people, I give them the numbers, and then I tell them what's really happening in the world, and I give them a reality, and then the next thing you know, I'm the meanie. But all they can say usually is that you're way off and you're wrong and you've got an ego and you fucking just want to get shows and likes and shit. What? Yeah, because I've got a bazillion people. Oh, I've got Super Chat running. Not. But anyway, so.
I would suggest also getting go to the FEC website and pull up their expenditures and receipts. If you need any help with that, just let me know.
Yeah, please send me. Let's work on that this week.
Send me a list of names you'd like me to look up, and I'll get that data for you ready for it.
Cool. Excellent. All right, guys. Anything else? Steve, you got anything else?
Ojetta's running for president.
What was that?
Ojetta is going to run for president.
Ojetta's running for president?
I swear this will only take like 30 seconds. I just got to show y'all.
Yeah, put it up.
Wait a second. I don't know. Wait, I'm going to bring it up. Okay. It takes me longer because I'm not good at this. Okay, there it is.
All right, leave it there.
I got it.
Take a look.
No, wait.
Yeah, you got it.
I messed up.
You want to send me the link?
One more second.
Good. We're patient. We're waiting patiently. Patiently.
I'm Richard Ojeda, and I approve this message.
Oh, it's got a real bad thing. So, do you want to just send the link?
I never dreamed that I would come home only to find children in my own backyard that have it worse than the kids I saw in Afghanistan. I spent decades fighting for this country, and now it's time to go to D.C. and defend our homeland. This is what you all are fighting for! So make no mistake about it. I will stand with the working class citizens over all else. If they don't like it, hit the road.
He just put that up on his own personal YouTube page. So it's legit. It's not like a fan thing.
I don't know what to say. That's pretty sad. All right, guys. Thank you all for coming tonight. Thank you for your information. Thank you for being here. Next week, we're bus driving. What happened? Anybody got anything else?
No, just I like the energy. I like to see people moving. So I mean,
body moving. Right?
I like it.
All right. Thank you, Snark, for being here.
Yep.
I got to do my outing. Lucas, it's a pleasure as always, my friend. Good stuff.
Thanks, Night.
Yeah, good seeing you, bro. Take care. All right. So, there it is. I invited for several days for whoever from the Green Party to come. I've got enough evidence. I've got enough information. I'm giving them a chance to... I just want to... Basically, what I'm really trying to do is to let people know that there are people in parties, and this happens in every party. Honestly, the Green Party really isn't that big. How can you hurt a party that doesn't even have somebody in the House or the Senate, you know? And how do you hurt a party that doesn't know how to focus on where to really put their resources? There's a lot of things that this party needs to learn and do. But there are people in the party itself that I truly believe are inhibitors. They're people that I don't know if they're doing it on purpose. I don't know if they're paid to do it, but they're not helping. They most assuredly are not helping. And they need to be called out. And they need to be, and they definitely need to know what they're really doing, how they're affecting the party, how they're affecting the ability for a party to help save the world and all of its inhabitants. This is the party. So if you're in the way with your drama, okay, stop. You know, it's that simple. Okay, or get out of the way. Right? There's a lot of people out there that want this party to grow. We're tired of 250,000 or 300,000. We need to get in the millions. We need to bring more people in. We do believe that there is common ground out there. Maybe they're not going to be perfect Greens, but guess what? They'll get your vote. Oh my God, more people to vote for Greens? Yeah, exactly. I think that's the point, right? When you create or a part of a political party, you're trying to get more people to come into the party and vote for your party candidates. That's the goal of a political party. And you need people, and you need resources, and then you need to know where to direct that to create more and bring more and more. If you don't understand that, you just had your opportunity to learn. You just had your opportunity to understand what it is a party has to do to win. Not to come in third, not to come in second, but to go for it. All of it. All the time. All the time. And give everything you can to get those big seats done. Like I've said, these other two parties use most of their resources, party money, time, for those bigger candidates and those bigger positions. And those bigger positions, here it is, really and truly affect our livelihoods. Not city fucking planner or a janitorial job. It's the House that helps create these things. It's the Senate. And of course, POTUS. But if you're not going for those positions, and if you're not going after those positions, with everything you got, and if you don't believe that's true or that's pertinent and a priority, then there's something wrong with you. There's something wrong with you. Maybe you shouldn't be in a position where you think you have the power to influence other people. Because you don't. You don't. You really just don't. And it's kind of fucking laughable that there are people in this party that really believe that they're omniscient creatures and they're powerful and what they say goes. Because you're not structured that way anyway. Right? You guys are in so much fucking disarray, it's disgusting. And this has got to change. That's why I'm here. That's why these people come into the show. Because they're sick of the lack of unity, the lack of uniformity, the lack of structure. Okay? And they're just tired of all the hyperbolic baloney drama bullshit that distracts so many fucking people from coming in and staying in. It's time. It's time for you people to get out of the fucking way, because if you've been here for a long time in the Green Party and you still don't have somebody in the House, maybe you're not doing the right things. Maybe you shouldn't be the person to pull those strings. Or strings you think you can fucking pull. The invisible strings or whatever the fuck they are. Pubic hairs, in my fucking opinion. It's funny. It's just fucking hilarious. But I'm not joking about saving this planet, and this fucking party has the best opportunity to do it. This party has the right platform. It has everything it needs. It just needs the people that think they've done something to get out of the way, because nothing's happened. You're still doing what the two-party oligarchy wants you to do, and go after those little fucking positions that do nothing. Those are subordinate positions. Those are not peer positions that make a fucking difference at the higher levels. Okay? If you believe that city planner and fucking city council member is more important than a House position in Congress at a federal level, or it's the same, then you've lost your fucking mind. You're just way off kilter. And you need to focus what needs to be done. Because when you see a leader in the House, what do you think that'll do for the party? If you get all your resources, people, money, time, and you fucking go after that, and you get one person in the House, what do you think that does for the party? Who gets more airtime? Who gets more exposure? Who's seen on C-SPAN? You know, you answer the question. Get out of the way, right? Get out of the way, and let people that want to grow the party, and just do the admin stuff, man. You know, write something or print something or put something on a banner. But if you want to do it the right way, there's a business model out there that's been very successful. Okay? It's called the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. Oh, you're going to be just like them. No, it's their fucking business plan. It's not how they conduct themselves, how they vote, how they fucking take corruption. That's a different process. But it's a business. You have to treat it like a business, because it is. It's all a business. You guys. I think you guys get my point. If you don't, then I'm sorry. But I am going to do whatever it takes to show exactly who's doing what and why, and who shouldn't be doing what. Okay? So if you have anything to say or bring to the table for me within this next week that could change my mind, okay? Because you had your shot tonight to come on the show, and I invited everybody. But I want the party to grow, and I want everything we stand for to be known all over the world. Because when I'm out there passing out flyers for Rodolfo Cortez Barragan, who had the best opportunity but was left in the fucking dust by the rest of the party, I heard people say, there's a party? There's another party? There's a Green Party? I mean, they were serious. 3.5 hours of passing out flyers, I heard people going, there's another fucking party. There's a Green Party? I didn't know there was a Green Party. That's pathetic. You've been created since '84. GPU started in 2001. And the people that are running this party, the people that think they're running the party, should not be running the party. Because that's happening. Because there are people that have no idea who the fuck you are. And that is disgraceful. So get out of the way. Let people, or get in the boat. You're still in the boat, but let somebody fucking else take the oar. Let somebody else paddle. Somebody who knows how to fucking pull water, right? Somebody knows how to fucking pull the water. If you don't know how to paddle, just stay in the boat. That's fine. And then later you'll get your full comprehensive universal health care with no copay. You'll get your wars coming down and the MIC fucking starving. You know, you'll get Citizens United leaving and disappearing and money out of politics, infrastructure taken care of, LGBTQ rights, everybody taken care of. You'll get all these racist fucking crazy wars exposed. You'll get 9/11 exposed. People answer questions. Things will start to happen in the right direction. But if you're not the person to do it, just get out of the way. And let the people that really and truly have the time and well, not a lot of time, but have the energy or the foresight or the ability to do what's necessary to grow a party, to grow it, let them do it. Okay? Just let them do it. But if you can't handle having more people in your party, then you should just get out of the fucking party. Period. Anyway, this is James with Monotalk. Thank you for listening. Thank you for paying attention. Aloha, everybody. I think I want to hear my song. Thank you, everyone. Rachel McClay. It's about getting a foothold in the system for positive optics for the future. You know, she's right. If you put somebody in the house, what does that say to the rest of the country? Do you think more people will know there's greens in the United States? More people know there's a green. Fuck yeah! All right, so next week, bring it all. Anybody, you got a gripe, you know for sure this person is damaging the Green Party, and if you have proof of it, let me know first. You can come on. If you're just going to bitch and complain about somebody with no viable proof, okay, then go away. Then they're not coming on. Okay? But I will be pointing out everybody. Okay? So just letting you know. You're going to hear it live here on Monotalk, my own separate station. Right? People just need to be exposed for what they're really doing with. Are they helping or they're not helping? And the people that aren't helping, that are damaging the party, okay, need to go away. So if you have anything you want to say or tell me before I get the show next week, let me know. But you're going to be exposed. And all the information that you've given me is going to be seen and shown. Because I got a lot of it. Tons of it. And a lot of other people do too. So we don't need that in this party. We need to start fresh and do the things that are needed and necessary. Aloha. Oh, music time.